Gadgets Live. Exactly.
Hello, welcome to Brown Dog Gadgets Live. I'm Amanda, the Education Outreach Coordinator here at Brown Dog Gadgets. Behind the camera, I've got Pete.
I'm over here.
Today we are going to be building a cardboard knife switch.
All right.
Ooh.
Cool.
I know.
You didn't go with a green LED?
I did not go with the green LED. This way I can actually, show the project without looking at the overhead cam.
You can use it as a mini slate, too, for like
It's true.
cut.
That's true.
Action, all that stuff.
Before we jump into that project, if you have not followed us on our social media platforms, please do so. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or X, and YouTube. Also, the project that you see today, as well as all of our other projects, templates, and products, can be found at browndoggadgets.com. If you have any questions, just want to say hi, want to make fun of me, I don't care.
Oh.
Just, leave a comment, ask a question. We're here. If you have any questions afterwards, you can always email us at help@browndoggadgets.com. All right, let's get into this.
All right.
So this is our cardboard knife switch, and I did put some gaff tape on the bottom just so it sits still. It sits up nicely, but the overhead cam catches that at a top-down angle, so I just kind of bent it.
I'm going to add another camera at some point.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, we're going to build this bad boy. Here are our laser cut cardboard pieces. You can just cut them out.
Flip one over. Let's see how they look. Oh, they're pretty clean.
These
I
are-
did them on the new laser cutter.
These are really clean.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
That's not too bad, actually.
Yeah,
I used
but
to do
like
laser
that's
cutting.
the only one that you can actually
Yeah.
tell on. The rest of them are gorgeous, Pete.
Well, those perfect little holes. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Pete did these on our new laser cutter. We now have two. It's exciting days over here. And one that, actually likes to work all the time.
No, they both work 100% now.
Ooh.
Yeah. So
Fancy.
2 lasers, 2 tubes each, 4 tubes, 150 watts times 4, 600 watts of power.
Yeah, that's a huge improvement from what we were working with, which
I know.
was a laser cutter that had 2 heads, but only one was working.
Yeah, I know.
So,
Got it all working. It's all good.
if you do not have a laser cutter, you can just cut these out of cardboard.
It's true.
But-
X-Acto knife will do fine.
It's not quite as fancy. Let's be
Yeah.
real. All right, let's build this. I am going to start with the arm. And we're going to use maker tape on it. So I'm going to take a few different, or pieces of it in a few different places. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to just do one long line down the front of it.
And as always, there's a fully illustrated and guide to this, I believe.
And
Through everything.
if you want to make a giant one,
Oh, yeah.
there's a guide for a giant one as well.
Yeah, basically you just scale up the template, and I made a giant one based on like the largest pieces of cardboard we had around here.
All right, then I'm going to take a few pieces of maker tape on the side with the hole, and I'm going to wrap them around the back and back onto the front. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side of the hole as well. Based on looking at the project, I'm guessing you could just do one or the other, but it's going to give you a better chance of making that connection.
Yeah, because when it swings up, you just want to make sure you're still getting a good connection in there.
And that piece wasn't long enough. The great thing about maker tape is I can just add a little more. Overlap that and continue on. There we go. All right, then I'm going to kind of measure to see where the project is going to hit. And then I'm going to wrap some maker tape around this section here. Usually like 2 to 3 pieces is enough. And if you want to just be lazy like I'm about to do, you could just wrap it a few times
Yeah, that's what I do.
instead of cutting it and doing 3 separate pieces.
It seems smart, not lazy.
Smart, not lazy.
Yeah.
I like it. There we go.
I'm pretty sure that's how I did the original one too.
That sounds
Just
right.
Wrapped it around.
And then I'm just going to check and make sure. So if these holes are lined up, this will hit perfectly. All right. So we've got that all set and ready to go. Now I'm going to take this front piece and I'm going to put our pads on there, but before we do that, when he laser cuts it, there's these little tiny slits, or these little parts that
Yeah.
hold it all together.
Tabs.
I'm just gonna slice those real quick. There we go. Yeah, beautiful. All right. Now on this piece, which is going to be the front of the knife switch, I am going to take my maker tape and wrap it around to where it will be on the inside, just a little bit below that hole. I wrap it back around to the front and down to the bottom. I love maker tape too, Pete.
Yeah, right.
Just like that. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the right side of those holes. So around to the back, wrapped around to the front, leaving those holes exposed. Those holes are there to add some brass fasteners to hold everything together. So we'll get to that step in a minute. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the right side as well. So wrapping it around the back and coming around to the front. Wow. Feels like Halloween.
Is that what it is?
So spooky.
I don't have any June themed music or sounds.
Any what?
Any June summer themed sounds? What should we get?
I don't know.
Children playing outside, maybe.
It's true. They're chasing a solar racer
Oh yeah.
in the sun. All right. So now we've got those 4 paths. And I'm going to actually make sure that these 2 pathways on the right and then these 2 pathways on the left are just one path. So we're going to put a piece of maker tape in between them at the bottom. We're just making sure that everything comes in contact,
Yeah.
giving lots of chances for it to come in contact. There we go. Perfect. And now we can actually assemble our knife switch. So we've got the back side that doesn't have any maker tape on it. Then we've got the, I don't know what you would call
Block.
this. The block.
The block.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And we've got the arm up top here.
Mm-hmm.
Holding it all in place gets tricky.
Yeah.
But then to hold it in place, we're going to use these longer brass fasteners.
Right. Not the short ones.
Not short ones. This cardboard is way too thick. And it's not in place at all. So we're just going to
Yeah. Stack it up, whatever.
Just
whatever
stack
one
it
makes
up.
sense. There you go.
So then on the back, we'll just fold that down to hold it in place. Slide this guy back in. We'll do the same on this side. And then one more brass fastener for the arm.
The knife.
And obviously to make it move, we really only want one on one side.
Yep.
So right now I've got my knife switch all situated. You can see that it actually is going pretty well up and down, but one trick Pete taught me is that if you come to the top of these and you kind of pinch it
Yep.
away from the middle,
Yeah, it makes a little sort of V groove for it
Yeah.
to more easily
and then
go in place.
it just kind of flows in there a little bit easier.
Cardboard's not the most precision building material,
Nah.
but it's very cheap or free for many people.
So you could use this as a switch on anything.
Any circuit.
You could, really
Ooh, hold
go
on.
crazy.
No, you can't.
Oh,
When we
any
so
paper circuit
Josh,
project.
yeah, Josh will have some stories of the old days of Instructables, but when we posted this one, some old electrical engineer this is dangerous. You can't use this with an 120 volt AC circuit.
Wow.
We're like, no, this is for educational purposes using
True.
low voltage circuits. We would never have implied
I'm sorry, not anything.
no, dude.
That was extreme.
Oh my gosh. So
This
any of
could
our
be
circuits.
used with any of our projects.
Right.
All right, I'm going to take a sticky side out tape loop of Maker Tape and throw it right on the pathway on the right here.
Ooh.
I'm going to add a super low voltage
Yes.
battery.
Very low amperage.
There we go.
All right.
Amperage. Got it. Now, just so you can actually see that it
Oh.
works.
Luckily, Mike is.
Oh, Mike!
And
I
we
was
had-
wondering.
We had some
I'm-
weird comments there earlier, but hopefully Mike is able to.
I mean,
Nice switch.
fair. I am almost done, Mike. Look at this. Look at how fancy this is looking.
He's
You
still
almost missed
here.
it.
He's here.
You're here now.
He probably watched for 5 minutes and I forgot to comment.
Right.
I gotta do that.
All right. I'm going to take an LED. And since the tape path is going to run to the positive side, I need the positive LED leg on this side.
Thanks, Mike. Yeah.
Good work, Mike.
We had to reply. We had to reply to some comments. Yeah.
That's right. All right. I'm going to take my negative LED leg and connect it to the left side of the project, making sure I have a strong connection there. I could do the sandwich method with the tape.
Yeah.
I didn't. Probably would have been a good idea, but whatever. And then I'll take my positive LED leg and run it to the top, or the positive side of the battery. There we go. And then
Look at that.
there is our knife switch.
Got it.
We actually do use the knife switch to turn on some NeoPixels in one of our
That's right.
microbit lesson plans as well.
Yeah, right.
But this is the super basic version of add an LED to it.
Yeah. Well, when I first did the knife switch, I brought it in and showed Josh, Josh, look at this, some cardboard fasteners. He's like, great. And then I think Ben showed up and he just added the LED in the battery. Oh, that's a very good demonstration of it actually in use.
Of it working.
Yeah. Well, I think the idea was you could connect it into any circuit, but he just threw he added a circuit to it instead.
Yeah,
It's worked out great.
perfect. Actually, Pete, will you grab me the pinwheel?
I'll get the pinwheel.
It's right there.
This one here over on the table here.
Yeah. I'm gonna be ridiculous real quick.
Oh.
Just straight up ridiculous. Let's see if I can do this quickly.
You can add a knife switch to anything.
I'm just gonna take this off so I don't cause problems. And I'm just gonna rig this up.
Yeah.
And connect it. Because
Yeah.
why not?
Right.
And then I can use my knife switch on my pinwheel.
You know what this is? There's some cool beans right here.
I think so. I think so. All right. I'm just literally running it across the table.
That works. Hey, I've heard Josh say that how many times?
That is
You could
true.
make a circuit on the table.
Make it on the table. That's the great part about this stuff, is it? Whoa.
Unless it's a metal table, of course. But
Yeah, in which
there's
case,
always
maybe not.
there's always a caveat with everything, right?
It's getting stuck. My paper bent down. There we go.
Look at that. Oh, that's a sound effect machine.
It's true. Gently grazing the table as it spins. But there we go. There is another use
Yeah, right?
or a ridiculous use, but a use nonetheless.
Well, no, we'll go get the giant one and then get out to that.
Make a giant pinwheel with a giant knife switch.
It's funny because years ago, like 8-9 years ago, I got this really fancy switch, like this high voltage, like 600 volt industrial switch, and I used it to just turn on an LED with the whole like ridiculous overkill. So
Yep.
that's kind of in that vein.
I like it.
Mm.
Awesome. Yeah. So this is our cardboard knife switch that, like I said, you can connect to
Yeah.
pretty much any of our projects.
Yeah, I mean, you can use it with the microbit as well as a switch or whatever.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, like I said, I think it's lesson
Yes.
8 in the
Very
microbit
small.
lessons,
Yeah.
but it
Should be in there.
connects to the microbit, which is then controlling a NeoPixel.
Yeah. Got it.
Yeah. There we go.
Sweet.
Awesome. That is our project for today. Tomorrow, you get Pete and Josh for Microbit University. You were ready for that one.
Yes, we're gonna take over.
That's right. You're going to be looking at a potentiometer with an LED. And then next week and the following week, we are going to be taking 2 weeks off so we can run our professional development for Pathfinders. That 30 to 40 hours
Yeah.
is a lot. So sorry,
It's a
no
lot.
live stream.
It's a lot for you and me.
It is. It is. But it's all planned out and it will be fabulous. It's always a fun time.
Yeah.
So if you have no idea what I'm talking about, feel free to sign up for our newsletter. And when our information comes out in March next year, you will be one of the first to know.
Sweet.
Awesome. That's all I've got for you today. If you have not signed up for, or if you have not followed us on our social media platforms, please do so. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter or X, and YouTube. We hate copper foil tape. And this project, as well as others, can be found at browndoggadgets.com. You will have to get creative, though, in attaching the pinwheel project to the knife switch.
Yeah.
But I believe in you.
I think you just showed them how to do it.
I did.
Seems
I did.
fine with me.
Yep. And maybe you can have yours be a sound effect as well. A sound effect
And if you need
machine.
help, just email us. And-
There we go.
Ooh, I'm max headroom now. Cool.
Wonderful.
Mike gets that one, I'm sure.
Mike does. You and Mike are always on the same
Max
wavelength.
Headroom, hilarious.
Hilarious. Nope. Awesome. That's all I've got for you today. I will see you in a few weeks.
Oh,
Pete
no.
and Josh. We'll see you tomorrow.
Okay.
Have a good one.
All right.
Thanks for watching. Please visit browndoggadgets.com for parts, projects, and curriculum. Follow us on social media @BrownDogGadgets. We'll see you next time.